In June, the median home price in Santa Barbara fell 11%, and in the same month, the average home price increased by 10%, which may seem contradictory to you, but actually there's a very clear reason why, and it's because the bottom got busy, which is exactly what you're going to learn in this video. Let's do it. So the snapshot of the market is that we have more listings on the market now at 227. We have longer days on market as well at 36. We have more new listings at 130, and the months of inventory is 2.47. As soon as we get to 6, then it becomes a balanced market, but for now it's going to stay a seller's market. One thing you should know is that the market foundation is the core of the market. That's everything without Montecito and Hope Ranch. That's what I call the core. And the core actually didn't move. It was still 1.9 million, and we still had 11% gap from the median, including Montecito and Hope Ranch, versus just the foundation, which is everything except for Hope Ranch and Montecito in the core. One of the best ways to understand the divergence of median and average home price in Santa Barbara is to break the market up into segments. I think segments are the easiest because it shows that we have a bunch of different markets in Santa Barbara. We have like 5. And the $5 million range had fewer sales, but they were larger, which would bring the average up. And then the $1.5 million range had way more sales, and they closed more often. They were actually 25% of the total market, where they were 13% last month. And that's why we saw the median go down while the average went up. Here's a good illustration of what I like to share with people when they ask me, how's the market? If you're looking in Santa Barbara, you can buy a home for $1.7 million, and there's not a lot of them. That's 2 months of inventory. But if you're looking for a $9 million home in Montecito, then there's a lot of options. It's 7.5 months of inventory. And that's really why you have to know that there's a big difference between the two, and it depends on which market you're in. The composition distortion has a direction. You can't really account for the composition distortion unless you know which way it's headed. In the first quarter of this year, we saw that we had less huge sales, these $20 million, $30 million sales in Santa Barbara. We had a ton of them in 2025, and in 2026, we didn't have as many. Whereas in June, we saw that we had a whole lot more of the homes that were under 1.5 sell, and that's why it shows that the bottom got busy and it pulled down the median. The market is not repricing the value of the product of homes in Santa Barbara, it's repricing mispricing. So over here, we have Padaro Lane that sold for $33 million. It was the largest sale this year. It was on the market for 63 days. And it sold for 21% below the asking price. And then we have another sale, it was $30 million, it was on the market for 22 days and sold for 100% of the asking price. Similar in value here, one just took a lot longer to sell and it sold for lower than the asking price. An example of how sensitive this market is to a single sale because we have so much luxury real estate is that one number can be overstated just based off of one sale. So that Padaro sale at 33 million, it had a 21% price reduction in order to close. And if we just excluded that, we'd actually be at 97 sales to list price ratio. Whereas now we're at just under 95%. So you can see it just a 2% swing from one sale in Santa Barbara shows that their sellers still have leverage and they're still sticking to their price within 3%. So as I said, there is a divergence when it comes to the median and average home price when compared to last year. And largely this is helpful to see that the trend of the median and average prices following each other has not held up in June. Anytime you look at real estate data in general, you should ask 3 questions. 1, did the median and average home price move together or apart? 2, which tail fired? Was it the higher end or the lower end? Because that's going to drag the number. And then what did correctly priced product do? Did it sell quickly or did it sit? Because if it's properly priced and it still sat, then that's a good demand indicator. In summary, June did not change what homes were worth in Santa Barbara. It just changed who was transacting. And if you have any thoughts on this, please feel free to comment. and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.